do not necessarily represent those of the staff, management, or owners of WGBB.
Good evening and welcome to Late Night Parents. It's a show that we usually talk about. We moderate the latest trends and game changers in parenting, technology, education, sports, and product reviews. And we've also added health and wellness. We originate out of the studios of Long Island's oldest radio station, WGBB 1240 AM, and simulcast on W240 FM 95.9. I'm Ted Hicks, and you can find me on No, you can't find me on Facebook.
I was about to say.
No. I don't do Facebook. You know, there's a guy that looks like me, but not really. But you can find me on Twitter, Real Ted Hicks. Ways to contact the show, Late Night Parent on Twitter. Also on Facebook.com/Late Night Parents. And I do this with the best team on the planet Earth. We have our super videographer recording the Facebook Live event. And around the table, we have none other than Richie V.
Teddy Ted, what's going on?
And we also have in the building, texting right now. At least she wasn't texting while driving. Dr. Michele Reed.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening.
Michele.
Good evening.
Sorry I didn't bring my gold mic today.
Have you set it up? You're going to need an amplifier for it.
Yeah, I realize that now. Maybe I'll get that as a gift, too.
There you go. I did set mine up, and I did some testing with it. Some recording on the iPad and things, and it works really well.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Ted.
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you again.
Oh, please stop.
I know we were a little rushed that time because of the fire. So, formally, a nice, calm thank you very much for the gifts.
2 weeks ago, the last time we were here, there was a fire in the studio. We didn't know what to do. It was live on the radio. Broadcasting live flames. I don't know what to say about that, but it was, and then last week we were out due to inclement weather. It was it was an okay call. We had a recorded show where I spoke
Hold up.
Huh?
You just didn't want to do the show because the Giants were playing at the same time. That's what it was. And if it was going to be a win or a loss, you didn't want to take a chance.
Not true. I did not want to take the chance of everyone out there dealing with black ice, and I was concerned about the safety of our team.
That's his story, and he's sticking with it.
I'm sticking to it.
And you're on that side of the table, so you're going to stick with it, too.
No, I'm going with the weather. It was a nasty, nasty day. Even though by that time of evening, it hadn't gotten too bad. The roads had been pretty cleaned, but it was better. It was safe. And it was a good recorded show, so it still works out.
As usual. So since Dr. Michele doesn't have anyone sitting next to her, no retort?
I'm just posting away on social media right now.
Oh, okay. So
Text.
There's a lot to cover here. I know we're fighting against this time. I tell you, I got to talk to, I don't know about you guys, but because the last time I said this on air, things happened. I got to talk to the powers that be here and figure out a way by this summer we get 2 hours a week.
We can do that.
I don't know. I know last time when I mentioned we were just bi-weekly, and then next thing you know, a little birdie said something that's on that side of the glass, and next thing you know, we were weekly. So, I don't know. We'll see. But a lot of things to cover here. first and foremost, happy birthday to MLK, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We will be celebrating the day tomorrow across the nation.
Yep.
We're going to get that into that in segment 3. Segment 1 wanted to discuss, because there was a debate that went across social media about the peanut allergy debate. When should we expose our children? And there were some new guidelines that went out. So immediately, you and I, Rich, thought about none other than
Dr. Michele.
The good Dr. Michele.
Who's still texting.
Who's still texting away. Just doing double duty. The budget is tight here. We need to have someone tweeting and recording and everything else like that.
For free.
For free.
Multitasking. No, she's multitasking.
She's multitasking.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So, and as I was leading into the great peanut allergy debate with Dr. Michele.
So, Ted, do any of your children have peanut allergies?
No, they do not. Do any of your children have peanut allergies?
No, they do not.
But I do know someone in this room that looks like Dr. Michele, who has a child
that has an allergy.
That has an allergy.
To peanuts.
To peanuts. So, with any bit of additional help, Dr. Michele, this is your section.
So Dr. Michele,
your
how
segment where you get in and you talk about the peanut allergy.
We're going to pull her in slowly. So how old was your child when you realized that he had a peanut allergy?
Well, basically, I have a set of twins, and we always try to eat healthy. As a mom, you know, you try your best for your kids. You want them to have from the different food groups. And we had gone miniature golfing with the family, and we were back at my mother's house, and the twins were probably about 2 years old at the time.
Okay.
I knew one of them had really bad eczema.
Okay.
That covered him from his scalp all the way down his torso. Yes.
Okay.
And his legs. So that's how bad his eczema was. But not thinking at the time that he would have any food allergies, because now we know that with children who have eczema, there's an increased risk that they may have some type of food allergies. But no one in my family, of course, had any food allergies, so we're not really thinking about that.
Okay.
We had gone playing miniature golf, and we were sitting at the table, and my mom had made fish, something she always makes. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at one of the kids across the table, and he started getting like splotches on his face.
All right.
And I felt his skin, and it was flat, but it was just the splotches were getting bigger. I noticed then that one of his eyes was starting to puff up a little bit.
Okay.
We lived down the street from my parents, so I had asked my husband to go get some Claritin, come back to my parents' house. By the time I went to go give him the Claritin, he starts choking on the Claritin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I grab him. My husband goes outside. We get in the car. We get to the hospital. But by the time we got to the hospital, both eyes were swollen, but he was able to talk and breathe okay.
So his airway had already started to clear somewhat, and
Yes.
the reaction had died down.
Yes, and that is exactly how we found out that he was then allergic to fish. And a couple of days later, we went to the allergist, and we found out what fish he was allergic to, which basically all fish, shellfish, nuts, milk, eggs, some other things. But that's how it all began for us.
Okay. At 2 years old.
Yes. So now the latest data is saying that children, when they're introduced to foods, after they started to have the foods as an infant, then you can start to introduce peanuts in small amounts, even to children who we suspect would have food allergies, those who have allergies as far as like seasonal allergies and eczema. So when you do that, the theory is that that sort of diminishes the risk of them developing full-blown allergic reactions to peanuts.
By introducing it to them earlier.
Earlier.
All right.
Earlier.
Interesting.
Okay, as opposed to later.
Right.
They said that if parents don't feel comfortable introducing that to their children, like on their own, they can actually do it in the doctor's office.
Okay.
So that way it's supervised, and if the child has any type of reaction, then they would be in the appropriate place to get whatever medication that they needed.
Is the thought behind that over time the reaction potential would lessen?
Yes.
Okay, so
and
right.
even when I was in school, they would always say, okay, you can try, one school of thought was you can try giving a child a little bit of whatever they're allergic to. And if you keep giving them a little bit, eventually their body will be sensitized and they won't have any type of reaction.
Right. Okay.
But then the other theory is like you keep giving a little,
Make it
eventually the child will have a reaction, and the reaction might be worse than what would have happened initially.
Right. Okay.
But needless to say, we walk around with our EpiPen.
Right.
Just to be on the safe
fish,
side.
Everything else. So is he still as sensitive now as he was as a 2-year-old?
No. He's
Good.
still allergic to fish and shellfish and nuts. But as far as milk and eggs, he has milk and eggs.
Okay.
He loves eggs.
Okay. Well, good.
But that's something that's very real. And one of the things, too, is that people feel that our society is so clean now. We wash our hands all the time. Kids don't go outside and play in the dirt because we used to go outside and play.
Right.
So now kids are using their phones and using their iPads and their tablets. So they're not getting exposed to all the germs of the world. And we even walk around now with hand sanitizer.
No, I don't. Expose me.
You're a manly man.
Oh,
Well, we've had that conversation before, and I
Yes.
mean, for things I've read, the same thing. It's like, we have put ourselves in a bubble, if you were, and not exposed ourselves to things, and not given our bodies the chance to build up the immunities and the resistances, so that when you get that slight little exposure, it doesn't blow up into a major allergic reaction. So,
Yeah, I mean, because growing up, I don't recall any of my friends having any type of allergies to
Nope.
foods.
Nope.
Everyone would just eat any and everything.
right, this all does seem like it's the last 30 years ish, because when our kids were growing up, when they were young, we started hearing about this more and more. So go back 25 years. But yeah, since then it seems like more and
It's
more
just
children are
more,
just getting
yes.
these reactions and
Yes,
sensitivities.
and even in the schools now, the nurses, of course, are trained to use the EpiPens, but
Right.
then they're also making sure that teachers are trained, because when the kids go out on field trips, if the nurse is not able to go, who's going to be able to administer it
Right,
to the
right.
elementary school child?
wow. Well, this is my shameless plug that I will do. This is Late Night Parents. Ways to find the show is latenightparents.com. You're talking with Ted Hicks, Richard C. Valdez,
Richard V.
and Dr. Michele Reed.
With
Excuse me.
one L, middle initial C, and that's REED.
So the next question we saw over the past week and a half is for working out, is it better to work out at home or in the gym?
Well, I would ask you, when you say better,
Better.
meaning more efficient,
Well,
or what are you defining as better?
better as in easy access. Are you more likely to work out at home if you have the right equipment there versus taking that 2 or 7 mile trek to the gym?
But this is a conversation that comes up all the time in my
Yes.
office, because not everybody has the time nor the money to pay for a gym.
Right.
And what I like to tell my patients is, like, you have to figure out what's going to be best for you. But we need to start with a goal. What is going to be your health goal? Because that's what's going to determine what your training will be. We're not going to be working out. We're going to be training. That has to be something that is beyond the next week, beyond the next month, beyond the summertime. It's a lifetime
Right.
training for whatever your health goals will be. But as far as if it's better for you to work out at a gym, or to train at a gym, or train at home, it's an individual choice. Nowadays, there are so many different apps out there. There's even
Right.
a 6-minute app that's free. There's a 15-minute app. There's a 30-minute app. And you can be doing your own exercise right at home. Not even going to the gym, just
Right.
using
Right.
your body for resistance.
Right.
And even getting resistance bands, getting weights. So it's whatever feels comfortable, and whatever is going to produce the most efficient outcome is what we need.
Okay. Because I'm thinking for some folks, when you look at that and when you try to weigh the two, is okay, a gym membership is $10, $20, $35 a month. You can have a virtual trainer online while you're working at home. So, I mean, I guess the question, that I'm posing is it, what would you say in regards to routine? Like, because a person, if they go home, they might, they have to deal with the kids, they have to deal with whatever the issue is they're dealing with during the day. They check their mail, their physical and electronic mail.
But the thing is, you know what your schedule is.
Right.
And it's about prioritizing what's important for you.
Right.
So you make sure your children have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You make sure they're dressed. You make sure they do their homework. But what are you doing for yourself? So this is the time for yourself. If you see that it's better for you to work out or to train in the morning before you go to work, if that means you getting up an extra 15, 20 minutes to do that, that's what you do. If you know as soon as you walk in the door, you're going to have to cook dinner, you're going to have to do homework, then maybe working out in the evening is not the best thing for you. Because when you do work out in your evening, you're all full of energy because you have all these endorphins that have been released. Right. So by the time it comes time for you to go to bed, you're all wired. Right, you're not trying to go to bed. And then the next morning you have problems waking up. So it really has to be something that you schedule a set time. So what I normally like to tell my patients, more times than not, I mean, they're not like me where I have to work every Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, you're off. Those are 2 days right off the bat that you can exercise. Pick another day. You want to work out in the morning? Do you want to train in the evening? What's better for you? So Monday through Friday, that's what you do. Pick one day. And all we're asking is for 150 minutes of cardio per day. I mean, per week.
Per week.
I know you saw 150 a day. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry and catch up there. But 150 minutes of exercise per week.
Right.
And that's really not that much time.
It's not that dedicated exercise.
Yes.
I mean, so then would you consider, I mean, sure, exercise is exercise. As long as you get up and you walk up the stairs, do 2 flights of stairs.
Your heart rate's going up, breaking a sweat.
Right, okay.
If somebody was to talk to you on the phone, you'd be a little breathless.
Right, okay.
Not short of breath, but a little breathless. That's the difference.
Right, okay. Now, to what you're saying, Ted, I think a lot of it depends, one, on the person and the personality.
Okay.
Because I'm sure we all know that person who, or have a friend of a friend who went out, bought that piece of exercise equipment, had all the best intentions in the world, and it is the greatest clothes dryer that was ever created. We all know that person, and we've probably done it too. I think it's a lot like what Dr. Michele just said. You have to dedicate that time to it and just establish it as part of your routine. And everyone is different. Some people are great for, let me get up in 20 minutes more. It would be more like an hour and a half early to go work out, to come home to change and everything before going to work. Or if you can get into that routine after work, if you can do it during work. That was a time I used to get up. I used to go for lunch, go to the gym, come back and eat a salad on my desk. If that works for your schedule, that's great. Or if you can do it when you get home, you make that your habit. Don't get home, sit down and relax. Go home, change, get right to the gym, do your workout, come home, and then continue on with your evening. Whatever works best for you, for the person that you can establish as a regular and normal routine. I think that's really what the answer is.
Okay.
We just want some good results. That's all we want.
Got you.
That's it.
And consistency. And by the way,
yes,
I know it's Palm Sunday. Sunday, April 9th. Everyone
JFK,
needs to readjust their church commitments.
JFK.
That's right, because we're going to be doing the JFK run/walk on the runway, which is only 3.1 miles.
That's one of my daily walks.
That's right. Only 3.1 miles. And that's all we're asking.
Did you set your calendar?
It's on my calendar.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's for mere $18. You get a T-shirt and a runner's bib.
And,
on the runway. All I care about is being on the runway.
And how do we register?
Well, you know what I'll probably do? Not right now, but later on, I will post the link on the Facebook page for Dr. Michele C. Reed, and I'll post it on the Facebook page for MS Family Medicine. And that way we can go there,
Okay.
download the paper, get it
Okay.
to the office. Because if you want the discount, you have to register through us, through my office. But if
Okay.
you're okay, paying the extra few dollars, you can go online and register. But you
Okay.
won't count as being part of my group.
Okay. Well, we will be part of her group. We will be there. Something, just to go back for a second, something you mentioned about setting goals and making a priority. And the apps. There are so many apps out there now that make it so easy for you to track what's going on. Because once you get out there and, it's that first week, even the first 2 weeks, and you've done 3 or 4 workouts, and it shows you how many calories you burned and how many miles you walked. Especially those first couple of times, it's like, wow, I actually put in some work there. This is pretty good. Let me see if I can do a little more. It could incentivize you. It's just good for tracking. I mean, even my gym, the machine, it's tied into the machines. So, after I finish my workout, I open the app, snap a picture, it automatically uploads and says what kind of machine it was on, all the calories burned, and tracking the time and all that. And it just makes life easier and keeps you going.
Yes, that's true. And if you have friends who have Fitbits, everyone has all these Fitbit challenges.
Yep.
Right.
So that's another option, too. Keep up with your friends. Keep everyone healthy. Keep your community healthy.
We only have a couple of minutes before segment 3, but we wanted to talk about ny5thgen.com.
We have the man of the month here.
We have none other than the man of the month of January. He's here and he's in the building.
New York 5th Gen. I wish I had the opportunity. I should have let the guys know. New York 5th Gen it's a car club. For those who aren't aware, I am a member of a Camaro car.
Wait a second.
No, the guys I meant are the guys in the club.
Okay, there's no women in the club?
There are a couple. But I meant that as the non-gender specific guys.
Okay.
More the organizational group guys.
Great way to clean it up. Great way.
And it's the truth.
I'm messing with you.
New York. Anyway. See, Ted, it's Dr. Michelle's turn to come on me a little bit. So,
Right.
You catch it every other week, so I'm only due, I think.
I catch it every week.
Okay, I was being nice.
Well, I mean, not last week because it was a recorded show last week.
But no, go ahead, because I'm really excited. I am so proud of you.
That only my voice was on last week. It was just me by myself. Oh, my goodness.
On tape. Digitally.
MP3. Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. What are we talking about again?
New York 5th Gen. See, now I'm glad that I didn't tell the members because we would have gone
Totally off tangent there.
Totally off tangent. No, I will speak. I will speak to it because it's a. See, now I want to say a bunch of guys, but she's right. It's a group of people. It's an organization with a membership, male and female. It's a whole lot more than just the cars. So yes, we are about 50 of us that I know of. Mostly 5th gen Camaros. So that's 2010 through 2015. Some of the guys have some really, really nice vehicles that have been like at the New York Car Show. They, all kinds of performance modifications and the body styles and kits and all kinds of modifications they've done. But we get together on a weekly basis during the spring, summer, fall months. And the members, the leadership, they are really, really good at looking at organizations where we can volunteer our time. So we've done items at the Northport Veterans Hospital, where they have on an annual basis. It's just a day. There's a Corvette club that invites us, and there's a good 100, 150 cars out there, and they pull the vets out in the wheelchairs. Those that are mobile, they'll come out. They have them pick the cars that they like, and they just walk around and look at them. It's a really nice event. For the holidays, we went to the New York City Children's Hospital and donated toys to all the kids there. And that was just one of the things. It was about 25 cars filled with toys. We stuffed a quarter of a gym full of toys, and really for the 30, 40 kids that were there, it was. You can tell they really, really, truly appreciated what was going on. And it's more than just cars. Sure, we get together and we'll eat burgers at a local place, and we'll just sit there and talk cars, or just associate. But it's a nice group of people.
But that's good. You do a lot of community service, and that's what we need.
Yeah, they do. And it's organized good, guys. Kendall, great guy. Michael's are the two, the president and the vice president of the club. Cisco, he's our mechanic, does some wonderful work. Just a nice bunch of guys to be associated with. And I was honored this month to be chosen as the member of the month.
That's
me and
right.
my car.
Did we post that to Late Night Parents?
Not yet, because I wanted it to coincide with the day of service being tomorrow.
See, look at that. He was looking out for you.
You know? There's a day of service that's happening tomorrow. But, I mean, the best thing about this is each of you perform a specific service to the community, whether, you know, through outreach, through your works, all the above. But before I can continue, did you guys know this is Late Night Parents?
That's right.
Found on latenightparents.com?
And found on latenightparents.com or lmp.tv. How about that?
What FM radio station?
And the radio station we originate out of 1240 AM WGBB and also W240 FM 95.9 exclusively simulcast live.
And you know what? We have to head there too.
Where?
To that station.
That's this station right here.
I know. We pulled in the parking lot.
Go outside, make a U-turn, come back.
You didn't see the bat signal out there? The signs were out there? There's like Dr. Michele. It's like, you know.
No, all I saw was you in the parking lot. Don't hit him today.
Oh, she thought about it. She thought about it just for a second.
For a moment.
And then Marcus is like, no, he's okay, Mom.
He's a nice
Mom,
guy.
he's okay. He's decent.
Saved by Marcus.
But
That's right.
I have on here, I mean, Rich, you should be commended for the work that you do, always. I mean, Dr. Michele, nothing more I can say for the stuff that you do for the community, for the kids, all the above. And it's appropriate that, you know, the day of service is January 16th. And we have on latenightparents.com tips to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day. Each of us will read a specific, and I'm touching it like it's a touchscreen. I think there's 4 items. No, there's 5 items here. So we'll go round robin. Organize your workplace, school, or community group. Maximize your impact by organizing a group to serve the community with an activity done all at your own location in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King. Choose a local charity and determine the best way for your group to show support. Ideas include packing snack bags for after-school programs, collecting coats, hats for a homeless shelter, planting trees, creating a mentoring program, or writing letters of support to our military abroad.
I like the second one here.
Then it's all yours.
Teach your children. The kids are at home from school. Remember, as a day of service, MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day is supposed to be a day off, not a day off to just sit around, but a day on, a day to be involved in different activities with your children. And you can show them an example of service by volunteerism. And volunteerism for me, and especially for my kids, is something that's not just on this day. It's something that we have to do throughout our life.
Yes.
So I believe that's something that I think is pretty deeply ingrown in my children.
Yes.
Leading by example.
We try.
Okay.
God, for my parents, had no other choice. Like, 2-3 years old, here we are. Out at the Democratic convention or a PTA meeting.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm hungry.
Well, you will wait. Well, another thing we can do here is raise needed goods. Support a local charity with a drive for the goods they need to serve the community. An online You Give Goods drive is the new way to raise food and supplies for charity. You can set up your drive in a matter of minutes and have it underway in time for MLK Day this year. Then, invite your online community via email and social media to support your cause by purchasing items that will ship to your selected charity. A You Give Goods drive builds up your community as it offers tangible aid to local charity, and it provides a welcome opportunity for your friends and family to be part of this year's MLK Day. Which, that sounds good. I mean, we all have groups in our communities which are in need, and it's not really too hard to locate them. So, through churches, through, you talk to the police, see who knows, or who needs anything, and raise those goods, put something together. You never know what could come from it.
Yes, because I think what we normally do is get it from the social workers or the guidance counselors at the school. They'll let us know what kids they think need something a little extra than what their parents are able to give to them.
Item number 4, spread the message. Use social media. Use the hashtag MLK Day to share MLK's ideals and inspiring words. You will find his words to be stunningly timely and relevant in today's world. You got to forward this specific page. Talk about what you do in honor of MLK Day and encourage the circle of friends to take action and support the community. I just want to share with you, our listeners and folks here. So I do some work with the United People Organization, and every year we have MLK Day March. It's usually it takes place within the village of Hempstead. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow it's going to originate at Kennedy Park, and where we would usually have it at Faith Baptist Church. But tomorrow we're having it at Miracle Christian Center. It's a combination of the high schools, of Hempstead High School. All the different, governing bodies come together. The local councilwoman, Dorothy Gooseby, stops by. And it's a show of solidarity and service that we all are trying to do each and every year. Mm-hmm. So it's could we do more? Of course we could do more. But as it was mentioned earlier, that tomorrow's not a day to sit around and sit here and watch the NBA. We all love the NBA. We all love sports and hockey in America and everything else like that. But take the time out, do something special in your community, working with the youth. Somehow, you got to get out and reach that person that, might be in need or might be in need of a specific service.
Right. That's true.
Yes. And that goes into Commit to Service in 2017 and use Martin Luther King Jr.'s example to plan a 2017 where you take action. If you're unable to volunteer tomorrow, just simply research and see what charity you can actually spend your time with and figure out how you can serve them. If you can't serve them tomorrow, how you can serve them in the future. Because any help that you can give goes a long way, and that's something that we have to consider. And I guess, I have a question for you guys. Mm-hmm. Have either of you, did you meet Dr. Martin Luther King?
I did not.
I never did. But then again, I was kind of young, so.
You were kind of young?
I was kind of young.
Well, I got a chance.
Wait, hold on.
But wait, there's another person in the room you might want to ask that question of.
Wait, hold on. Before you ask that question,
What's she doing?
I wasn't born yet. Okay.
Right. He wasn't born yet. He wasn't born yet.
Right. You mean your children were not born yet?
Why is everyone looking at me?
So the question to the videographer of the evening, Linda, is: have you ever met Dr. Martin Luther King?
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure if I actually met him, but I do have, and this is a radio show, in my bag I have a letter that was written to me on the King family letterhead in 1970, January of that year, and I was probably 8.5 years old. And it started off something to the effect, "Hi Linda, we haven't heard from you in a while. We hope everything is okay. Coretta wants you to have these items." And in there it was some information regarding the mission statement for the new King Center, because it was just being opened, I could think, that year. There are newspaper articles and other things like that. So whether or not I actually met Dr. King, I'm not sure. No. But I know I was in contact with his family apparently quite often, since they hadn't heard from me in a while.
Oh, wow. Did you bring it?
Yes, I do have it. I can show it to you later.
I didn't know she brought it.
I am just so in tune.
I think that was a setup. That was a setup.
Wow. I don't know.
So.
See, you question my abilities?
We have learned.
Oh, my goodness. I had no idea, where this was coming from. I was just like, okay, I'm rolling with it.
And I didn't speak to you before, did I, Linda?
No, not at all.
I know nothing about it either.
And I think
one
I'm
of those
probably
things.
the oldest person in the room.
just remember me.
I knew I threw you off with that one, guys.
Oh,
But we
my
pulled it back in.
goodness.
We saved it.
We did.
Linda saved it. Excuse me.
Yes, she did. I guess we get to the point of there's something happening on this Friday, January 20th.
Well, first we need to talk what's going to happen about on the 19th.
Let's talk about what's going to happen on the 19th.
Well, on the 19th, that's when President Obama and his family leave the White House.
Oh.
And I understand that there are going to be people out there, like thousands of people, out in front of the White House
Waving goodbye.
waving goodbye to him.
Wishing them well.
Oh, my, oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
This has been like a farewell tour like no other. We don't tend to lean left or right on this show. We're right down the middle that leans slightly left.
No, we're just discussing things. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean,
this is a
Monumental.
historical event.
yes, I mean,
Forget any
a
political.
couple of weeks ago, we had my niece Ashley on the
Yeah.
show.
Right.
How
And
is
when she's doing quite well. She had a track meet yesterday.
That's great.
Seabreeze, Princeton came number 1 in the 4x4 relays. And then
Ah.
she was one of the
Go, Ashley.
legs.
Go, Ashley.
Yes, but when on the way over to the show, she had told me a couple of weeks ago that she wanted to go to the White House on the 19th. And I was like,
Right.
on the 19th? I was like, what's
Right.
going on the 19th? And she said that's when they have their farewell to the Obama family.
Okay.
And she's like, that people are supposed to be coming from all over. And a couple of my patients told me that they were going.
So is this going to be a televised? It sounds like it's going to be a fully
I don't know if it's gonna
televised
be
event.
televised.
I bet it will be. Why not?
Well,
I
if you
mean,
turn to cable news, they're
It'll
gonna
be on, right.
It'll be on.
Or if you go to social media, I'm pretty sure someone's going
Right.
to be.
everyone will be live streaming that one.
That's right.
Yep.
Did you guys get a message in your inbox, either Facebook or Twitter, to change your avatar
No.
to President Obama?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I'll send it to both
Linda
of you.
has seen that one.
Oh, okay. I got one, and I was just like, huh? And I didn't know, I didn't take a second to look at it. I looked at it, and I said, okay, is this the usual, hey, send this to 10 other people?
Right.
But,
This wasn't a message from, you're talking about from different people.
From
on
different
social,
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I did get that from different
Oh, okay.
people to change
Okay.
your profile
Okay.
picture
Yes.
to President Obama and his family.
Nice.
So, with the 19th leads into something that happens on the 20th.
I'll be at work. That's what I'll be doing.
I'll be at work. Rich, wait.
I'll be at work.
Wait, Rich is going to be on vacation? Oh, no, he's going to be at work.
I'll be at work. Let me see if I need to schedule a day off.
You see,
I'm
he
due.
just did a low blow to you.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I should schedule a day off now.
I don't know. But yeah, I guess, and I see too that a lot of people on social media have been talking about who President-elect Trump has been meeting with and then who's going to be going to the inauguration to perform.
Right.
And I see Jennifer Holliday coming right off of being in The Color Purple.
Right.
Because last week was her last show. Initially she said yes, and then now she said
And she's
no,
saying
she
no?
won't be a part of it.
Is it, Rich, is it appropriate to say she found Jesus and said no? I don't even know if that's appropriate to say.
See, if I say, if she doesn't support his political beliefs, then there's no reason why she should necessarily get out there and perform. It's still an honor. It's still the president. But
Right.
if you don't agree with the person, then say no. That's fine.
Well, I was going to say because quite a few people have been saying no. I think more no's than more yeses.
Yes.
This is true.
And
It
then
does
you
look that
even
way.
have some congressmen, state
Yeah.
congressmen, who said that they're not going to be participating at all in inauguration.
I don't agree with that one. If for the private citizen, every private citizen has a right to do whatever they want. But since it does not look like there was anything shady about the election, it was duly elected through due process. You're a congressman, you're a representative of the country. You need to be there.
But what if your people, weren't in favor? Your state didn't support him.
You need to be there. Every congressman needs to be there.
Rich,
That's their job.
67 million people chose not to vote for him.
This is true. And he won.
And he won. Fair and square.
Electoral college. That's how
Fair
it
and
works.
square.
Won
He
it
did.
fair and square. They did the recounts to a degree. Nothing changed. Fair and square.
Fair and square. He won.
Should be there.
All right. So, do you think we're going to have it on the big screens at our school?
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be. I mean,
Absolutely.
you guys are at a law school,
Yeah, it
so
definitely will
this
be.
is monumentous for you guys.
Yeah,
so that
definitely.
needs to be seen and watched.
In the auditorium.
I know it was 8 years ago when we were there.
Mhm. Yep, it was. It was big.
You are the one that's leaning.
Just slightly.
Just a
slightly.
wee bit.
Just slightly.
We can tell who you voted for.
But so with that, can we go on to a different topic now? I guess I can say, guess what, folks? This is Late Night Parents
With Ted Hicks
and Dr. Reed.
and Rich Valdez.
And you can find us on latenightparents.com. How you like that?
I like that.
So, I guess we'll go round. Round robin. There's a lot that there's a lot that has happened with you since the last time we met. I would guess there's a lot that's happened with you.
Fortunately, I'm going to say it's been a pretty quiet couple of weeks.
Really?
It has been. Nothing out of hand has been going on. And, we've had kids are all back from school, so I
Okay.
still have my college age student. He's home, just enjoying the life of let me lay in bed and just hang out in the room all day long and go hang out with my buddies once in a while.
Okay.
But that's what he's supposed to do. He's home, so he doesn't have too much longer to live that life. Work, as you well know, all of our students come back Tuesday. So it'll be everyone on board, all hands on deck, back to the normal grind. But really, it hasn't been too much going on. How about you, Dr. Michele? How have your 2 weeks been?
Well, it's been a busy last 2 weeks because you have our patients coming in who are all excited about New Year resolutions that they've made and health goals. So they want to be healthy.
Okay.
And two patients in particular I was really proud of this week because we had talked about what they needed to do last year when I saw them. And when they came in this past week and we were going over results, I invited them, like I invite everyone, to come to our Friday night core strengthening class, which is free, 7:15, Next Generation Athletics, 575 Merrick Avenue, Westbury. And like I said, 7:15 and free. And two of them came.
Nice.
And I was really proud because one of them told me that she had gone and joined Blink Fitness
Okay.
and has been working out with a personal trainer. And I was very excited because she found somebody who's going to hold her accountable. And that's key. And that means that she knows she has an appointment to see that person at the gym 3 times a week. And she said that's what she's going to keep doing until she feels comfortable going on her own.
Okay.
And then another one said that I put my foot in her the night before the class and made her feel really bad, which I don't recall doing.
Okay.
We were just having a conversation, and I just talked about, you're pre-diabetic, you're a mom. God forbid something happens to you. You don't necessarily want your child to stay with their father because you said that they don't have a good relationship. So you need to do whatever it takes for you to be healthy.
You put your foot on him.
No.
Sure
did
sounds
not
like it.
put my foot on her.
Put that size 8 right there.
So anyway, when things like that happen, that makes me feel good. Like I feel that I've actually touched people,
Right.
and that we sort of to help to move the needle a bit. And it's moments like that you feel like, okay, this is what I wanted to do as a doctor. I'm not dealing with all the changes with the insurance company. Whatever is going to happen with the Affordable Care Act will happen, but at least I'm trying to produce a healthier society.
Making a difference.
Making a difference.
Are there, if you take your doctor's hat off, what are your main concerns about the Affordable Care Act going away?
Well, that we're not going to have insurance for millions of people. And I know there are some specialists who I'm friends with and just some specialists who I might not be friends with, and even some primary care doctors who are against the Affordable Care Act, but it gave insurance to millions of people who didn't necessarily have access. Yes, of course, insurance payments are going up and deductibles are going up, but that's across the board, and that's something that needs to be dealt with across the board. As reimbursements to physicians, and I'm sorry, I threw the hat back on.
Right, okay.
You're allowed.
But reimbursements to physicians are going down, but you never hear about the CEO of insurance companies pulling or taking a pay cut in their salary.
And they get paid well.
Yes, they get paid really well. So much so I might have to go work for the insurance company.
Or start one. Get that $23 million check for the year.
Yes, but I mean, at least with the Affordable Care Act, they were able to get insurance. Maybe they might not have been able to go to the top specialists in the world because they didn't take the insurance, but they were still able to go to the hospital and not have to pay anything out of the hospital visit. And, and then you have children, well, I won't say children, but young people who had to go on their parents' insurance. So if they don't have that to go on their parents' insurance, what's going to happen?
They won't have coverage.
They
right?
won't have coverage at all.
Right.
And then on top of that, women going for women visits and not having to pay copays.
Right.
That was very major. We had so many women that were flooding the doors because now they could come in and get the exams and not have to worry about paying anything. So even though, yes, the economy got better, but for some people, it's still a struggle. So anything that we can do to make it a little easier, it helps. But if people feel, and the majority of people feel that it's not something that they want to continue, at least have an option before you pull the rug underneath.
Right.
They say, and I have no idea, they say that there'll be something that comes out at the same time it gets pulled. We'll just have to see. Because, like you're saying, you can't just take it. It's been given. You can't just take it back. And there's a need for it. So it doesn't need tweaking? Absolutely. Find those tweaks. Come up with another idea that might work. Test that. You might have to pull it again and rework it again. But, yeah, you're right. You can't just pull it and then replace it with nothing.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
All right. So
how about you, Ted? How the last 2 weeks been for you?
it's been quiet.
I know, because you texted us the other day and he said how much he missed us.
Right.
Even though I saw him on Friday. So.
Yeah, I know. that was the feel-good moment.
Feel-good moment.
Okay, so, no, it's been quiet.
Yep.
Definitely did miss you guys. Been speaking with a few other stations. We can't announce anything. It's like the little engine that could. So we're just trying to look for ways to expand the show. Trying to look for ways to just get the word out. But, yeah, that's really it. I know one thing, Dr. Michele, we definitely want to get Radiah Rhodes back on here.
I know. That was
now that she's
major.
big time. She's big time.
And we had her last year before the article came out this year.
Yes, indeed. But other than that, it's like I said, it's been quiet. I think next week we have good friend Matt Parker, author of Real Estate Smart. He's going to join us. Other than that, I guess we'll go round robin best ways to get in contact with you.
Always the same. On Twitter, it's RichieV_NY. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/TheRealRichieV.
And this is Dr. Michele C. Reed. The best ways to reach me are Twitter. Why are you laughing? Instagram.
I'm waiting for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Ask Dr. Michele, and that's Michele with one L. And then on Facebook, it's Dr. Michele, one L, middle initial C, last name REED. And on the web, you guys are not funny at all. It is Ask, ASK, Dr. Dr. Michele, MICHELE, yes, with one L.com. And with MS Family Medicine, we are a full-service family medicine office. So we say everyone from birth all the way to geriatrics. And we're open Monday through Saturday. We have late nights Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So you don't necessarily have to go to urgent care. You can come to see us, and we have 2 locations, one in Garden City, the other one in Rosedale, Queens. Phone number is 516-794-2200, and that's extension number 8, and that's MS Family Medicine Healthcare. And I will try and post up either later on today or tomorrow the information about the JFK Rotaries Run on the Runway.
All right.
Run/walk, 3.1 miles. They close off one of the runways, and we just walk down the runway. And usually when we get to the halfway point, there's an airplane. Last year, there was a fire truck, and then you loop around, then there's a water station, and then you head right back over the finish line. And you do not have to run. You can just walk. And majority of the people, usually when they get to the finish line, that's when they start to, like, pick up the speed and run.
Oh.
And only $18.
No
Only
problem.
$18.
And you still get a T-shirt.
And you get a T-shirt. Do you get a medal?
The medal is the warmth of your heart, knowing that you did something that was beneficial to your health.
That works for me. That's a worthwhile medal.
The medal of a lifetime.
Wow. That is some way to end this show. This is Ted Hicks. Once again, ways to celebrate Dr. King's Day. Organize your workplace, school, or community group. Teach your children. Raise needed goods. Spread the message and commit to service in 2017. And with that, we're out.
Have a good week.
Necessarily represent those of the staff, management, or owners of WGBB.
This is WGBB AM 1240 and W240 DFFM 95.9 Freeport, New York.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council. Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company